Episode 26, the last broadcast of Gary Morris. Cannery Row, Monterey. A stretch of history that smells like salt air, bad whiskey, and broken promises. It's the kind of place where the ghosts don't bother hiding. They hang out on bar stools and sleep in the radio static. They say radio's dying. Maybe we're everywhere else. Not on the row. Not at KNRY. Station older than half the building standing around it. DJs spinning cuts from the 60s, 70s, 80s. Talk shows trying to make sense of a world that stopped making sense a long time ago. And right in the middle of it, Gary Morris. The last of the local broadcasters. A man who kept things honest and kept them on the air. Last week, Gary threw himself a little celebration. 90 years on the dial. 90 years of KNRY cutting through the fog. Said he was going to do it right. Power up the old transmitter. Dust off some forgotten tunes. Give Cannery Row a taste of history. He found an old sign off tape in the back room. Said it predated the station's call letters. Said it was a piece of Monterey's soul. What he didn't say, maybe what he didn't know, was that KNRY was built next door to La Ida's. La Ida's, the most famous little bordello on Cannery Row. It was written about in Cannery Row by John Steinbeck, but the book only told half the story. The other half, a singer they just called the Lady. She sang to the fishermen, the sailors, the men who didn't have much but could scrape enough together for one drink and one song. Until one night, a jealous sea captain dragged her out into the fog, wrapped her in chains and dropped her to the bottom, out past the rocky outcrops. La Ida's shut down. KNRY moved in. But the bones stayed in the ground, and the lady stayed in the walls. Gary played that tape anyway, and the lady sang. It wasn't nostalgia. It wasn't some scratchy old melody. It was her voice, pulling through the static, drifting out over the bay, calling to anyone foolish enough to listen. That night, 3 dockhands walked straight into the water and didn't come back. Radios locked on KNRY. And Gary? Gone. No note, no noise, just an empty chair and a coffee mug, still warm. I looked into it. The tape came from the original La Ida's property, mixed in with the station junk when KNRY took over. Maybe Gary thought it was just a part of radio history. But it wasn't. It was a key, and he turned it. They cut the signal the next morning, blamed the fog, blamed the power lines. But every local knows the lady got her song back. And she took Gary with it. You can walk by KNRY after midnight. You can stand outside La Ida's. If you listen close, you'll hear it. A woman's voice floating through the air. And if you listen too long, you'll walk toward the water without even noticing. I don't listen anymore. I keep my coffee in hand. I pretend it's hot. It never is. My cigarettes burn, my boots stay on dry land, and I leave the dead their stage. It's Cannery Row, the land of lost sailors and unfinished songs. Gary Morris just happened to be the latest name on the playlist. She sang to men both drunk and brave. She sang to fools too dumb to save. She sang to hearts too dark to crave, and Gary should have known better. Till next time, Detective Billy Armi.